Hello students, in this video I am going to talk about the meaning and concept of macroeconomics. Macroeconomics is the study of aggregates or averages covering the entire economy. We can also say that it is aggregative economics which examines the interrelations among various aggregates, their determination and causes of fluctuations in them. Thus, macroeconomics is concerned with the behavior of the economy as a whole. Though microeconomics and macroeconomics are two different concepts, they are not entirely different. They are in fact interdependent and complementary concepts. For example, uh, the determination of general wage level is the subject matter of macroeconomics, while the wage determination in an industry comes under the scope of microeconomics. However, when we take a decision regarding which in a particular industry, it is definitely influenced by the prevalent wage level in the economy. Similarly, the output and employment in a particular industry is influenced by the level of output in the whole economy, and general price level affects the prices of a particular commodity. Consumption of households is very much influenced by the rates of personal income tax or those of commodity tax. Thus, macroeconomics affects the microeconomics. Now, let us see what is the main scope of macroeconomics. As you can see on the PowerPoint screen, that I have mentioned about the macroeconomics scope is very wide. A number of topics I have mentioned there which is covered by macroeconomics. For example, unemployment, economic fluctuations, instability, stagnation, etc. Macroeconomics is the study of causes of unemployment and various determinants of employment. In the field of business cycles, it concerns itself with the effect of investment on total output, total income, and aggregate employment. In the monetary sphere, it studies the effect of the total quantity of money on the general price level. In international trade also, the problems of balance of payments and foreign aid fall within the purview of macroeconomic analysis. Above all, macroeconomic theory discusses the problems of determination of the total income of a country and causes of its fluctuations. Finally, it studies the factors that retards the growth and those which brings the economy on the path of economic development. My next slide will help you to understand the main areas covered by macroeconomics. The current slide is exhibiting the anatomy of macroeconomics, where we can witness that there are four areas of macroeconomics. First of all, theory of income, then theory of general price level, then theory of economic growth, and finally economic policies. Theory of income, it covers the various topics related to evaluation of national income, including the income, expenditure, and budgeting. Next, theory of general price level. The most important of all is the analysis of product pricing and how these price levels fluctuate because of inflation or deflation. Thirdly, the theory of economic growth, or we can also say the theory of economic development. Development economics is a branch of economics that focuses on improving fiscal, economic, and social conditions in developing countries. Development economics considers factors such as health, education, working conditions, domestic and international policies, and market conditions, with a focus on improving conditions on the world's poorest countries. And finally, we have macroeconomic policies. The government and the monetary authority in our country, of course, Reserve Bank of India, functions together while determining the macroeconomic policies for the nation's welfare and development. There are mainly two parts of this segment: fiscal policy and monetary policy. Now, I would like to talk about the importance of macroeconomics. On the PowerPoint slide, I have mentioned three strong reasons why is macroeconomics important. First of all, macroeconomics helps us to understand the working of the economy. The study of macroeconomic variables is indispensable for understanding the entire economy. Our main economic problems are related to the behavior of total income, total output, employment, and the general price level in the economy. Say, for example, one may not agree on the best method of measuring different prices, but the general price level is helpful in understanding the nature of the economy. Secondly, macroeconomics is extremely useful from the point of view of economic policies. Modern governments, especially of the underdeveloped countries, are confronted with innumerable national problems. They are the problems of overpopulation, inflation, balance of payments, general underproduction, etc. No government can solve these problems in terms of individual behavior. So, macroeconomics becomes a must for them. And finally, for understanding the behavior of individual units, the study of macroeconomics is imperative. Demand for individual products depends upon aggregate demand in the economy as a whole. Unless the cause of deficiency in aggregate demand are analyzed, it is not possible to understand fully the reason for a fall in the demand. Thus, the study of individual units is not possible without macroeconomics. Like other fields of study, macroeconomics has also some limitations or loopholes. Let me now discuss some of the loopholes of macroeconomics. First point of weakness of macroeconomics is fallacy of compositions. It means that macroeconomics assumes that aggregate economic behavior is the sum total of individual activities. But what is true of individuals may not be true for the economy as a whole. For example, savings are private virtue but a public vice. If the total savings in the economy increases, they may initiate a depression unless they are invested. Again, if an individual depositor withdraws his money from the bank, there is no danger. But if all the depositors do that simultaneously, there will be a run in the banks and the banking system will be adversely affected. Second point of weakness is that macroeconomic analysis regards the aggregates as homogeneous without caring about their internal composition and structure. The average wage in a country is the sum total of wages in all occupations, or wages of clerks, typists, teachers, nurses, etc. But the volume of aggregate employment depends on the relative structure of wages rather than on the average wage. If, for example, say wages of nurses increases but of typists fall, the average may remain unchanged. But if the employment of nurses falls a little and of typists rises much, aggregate employment would increase. Thirdly, in practical economics, it has been observed that aggregate variables may not be important necessarily. For example, the national income of a country is the total of all individual incomes. A rise in national income does not mean that individual incomes have increased. The increase in national income might be the result of increase in the incomes of a few rich people in the country. Thus, a rise in national income of this type has little significance from the point of view of the community as a whole. With this, we came to the end of today's discussion. If you have any question, please send to me. Thank you so much.